Welcome. There we go. Welcome, everybody, to the next edition of the Renatus J.A.M. My name is Jay Stark, and joining me always is my fearless co-host, Mr. Matt Snyder.
Coming out of the blue corner, weighing in at an undisclosed amount, which is appropriate to his height,
Thanks,
Mr.
Jay.
Matt Snyder.
He called me 180 earlier, and we talked about it. So it was a very generous, optimistic, and kind
That's where I come from.
assessment.
It's a place of kindness, Matthew.
Yeah, it was. You're a kind person.
Sometimes.
Jay.
Most
well,
of the
you know.
times. Unless you ask my kids, in which case I am now the strict one.
Oh.
I never knew that I would be the strict parent, but apparently I am now.
Why are you the strict parent?
Because I actually have any rules at all. Therefore, am
You
strict.
have rules?
I do.
I'm calling, what is it, DCF?
Don't make that joke. Don't make that joke. All it takes is one threat, and all of a sudden it ain't funny anymore.
Oh, shoot. Yes, family services. My neighbor has rules for his kids.
Oh, man. So funny.
Send somebody now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm now the strict parent, though, so that's nice.
Do you have a curfew for your kids?
I do. I have a curfew. It's incredible.
You are the worst.
I know. I expect my kids to go to bed at a certain time,
You
wake
do?
up at a certain time.
You do? Can they have phones at the dinner table?
No.
Wow. You are strict.
I can't stand that. When you're talking to somebody and they pull up their phone. Every day.
They're texting while you're talking to them.
Yeah. No. You just keep talking. I'm listening.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It got me a ticket. Don't do it. I'm just kidding. It didn't, but
Still don't do it,
that
though.
would have been funny.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Matthew, what's new and exciting?
Well, we've got the dude, the name gets longer every time. The Epics Activation Retreat
Ignite. The Ignite Activation Retreat.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Bear Lake.
Booyah.
It's coming up.
It is coming up.
Yep.
And we've got all of our people confirmed. In fact, I sent them all an email yesterday because I want to make sure that everybody is prepared to give a testimonial while they're there.
Cool. Bring your A game. Bring your A
your
testimonial.
A-game. In fact,
No
we
B
are
testimonials allowed.
no but testimonials.
Yes.
So we are
Yes.
so wanting to have great testimonials that our next Founders Live is actually going to be on Facts Tell, Stories Sell, and it's all about how to sell better.
Yeah.
So tell the story better. Last week we had an opportunity to talk with Dina Watt and Bob and Troy Dunn, and we spent the first hour, so 30% of our time together, just talking about telling the story.
That's awesome.
And so it's very evident that now is the right time for people to really get good at telling that story.
100% agree. And if you haven't dove into Rob Sperry's class, I would say do so. I believe it's around like the 6th, maybe 7th or 8th segment of his class. He's got 2 of them. And forgive me because they run together. I've watched both of them. I don't remember which one it's in, if it's in the Prophets or if it's the one in the AIT. But he talks about testimonials, and he really breaks it down into a 4-step process, the emotion of telling the story and all that stuff. Like he really breaks it down. So I would say if you want to really learn how to do a good testimonial, how to tell a good testimonial, how to hook people in with your story, then Rob Sperry's class, especially if you missed the whole Dino Watt, Bob Snyder, Troy Dunn, Jay Stark kind of situation.
Extravaganza.
So do that. We also have a big, giant, fat announcement coming up that I can't say anything more
Oh,
of.
my goodness. This Monday.
Yeah.
Big. Huge.
Huge with a Y.
Huge.
With a Y, yeah.
Huge announcement.
Huge amount.
On the Founders Live. You do not want to miss this. This is a big one.
Yeah, so be there.
Be there.
Or be square.
Don't be square. Just be there.
Just be there. I don't care what. Just
I don't care what shape you are.
Yeah.
Just be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. I love the quote. And I've recently seen it attributed to Will Smith. However, I could have sworn I saw it attributed to someone else earlier.
Could have been.
But it says something to the effect of, don't bother with plan B. It only distracts from plan A. So,
I'm sure somebody said it before Will Smith even was born. I mean, you know,
right.
stuff like that is generally it's not original. Like, so I'm sure
Right.
somebody in history.
Yeah, absolutely. How much of what we say is just a regurgitation of things we've heard other people say?
Or,
in our lives.
two people could think of it on their own.
Yeah.
Some guy 1,000 years ago, and then some, whatever.
There you
Anyways,
go. Anyway, Will
Smith's going to get credit.
is going to get credit this time. Don't bother with plan B. It only distracts from plan A. So make plan A your attendance of the Founders Live this Monday. It is going to be huge.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So we are also going to go over telling your story, though. And we've got a couple of examples of people that are going to come out and are going to tell their story, and then Bob Snyder is going to help them to refine their story just a little bit. And if you really want to know how important it is to tell a good story, think about those times in your lives when you have learned something impactful. There is almost always a story that surrounds that thing.
That's true.
And it's because of that you remember it so clearly.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the memory devices that they use are all about creating a story around, names or people or whatever, and that's how you can remember them better.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now you got me thinking about, because I used to kind of memorize stuff that way.
Right.
I would make it a story in the first letter of each word. Yeah. Anyways.
There you go.
Good stuff.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, okay, that's going to be a great Founders webinar.
It's going to be a great Founders Live, Matthew.
It's a Founders webinar.
It's a
webinar.
not a webinar.
It's a live webinar.
All right, you know what? Let us move on, shall we?
We shall.
We've seen the it seems like the summer is filling up, right?
Yeah.
So we have the Epics Ignite activation retreat coming up.
Cabo's
August coming up
20th through 24th.
That's right.
That's
Then,
another place you're not going to want to miss.
dude,
That is going to be
Cabo's
so
gonna
cool.
Cabo's going to be insane.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I am itching to get some time on the beach.
Me too. I've got some. Oh my gosh, the farmer's tan. Look at that sucker.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
He is so white he glows. I know that probably doesn't transfer effectively over the camera.
Yeah, the white. I just screwed up the white balance. Guys, get over here.
I just messed up the white balance. Aaron's over there. Yes, it does. It translates.
Yes.
He's very white.
He's like, I can see it. I'm only going to look at it through the screen to protect my eyes.
We are doing again this year what we've done in years past, which is we're taking the PAC members and making them available for lunch or for breakfast and dinner on Saturday. So Saturday is typically our big group training, right? That's when we get the whole group together to do our 4-hour and 1-minute training.
Yep.
As per, the guidelines that we've received. But what we're doing in addition is the same thing we did the last time in Panama, which is making the PAC members available for to have breakfast in small groups. So small groups of 10 people are going to get together with PAC members, and they can ask them any questions they want. If you wanted to learn from Scott Rowe on how to effectively manage a team, he'll be there. If you want to learn from Richard Stock on how to consistently create sales, he'll be there. And you can talk to them one-on-one and get that information. It's going to be incredible.
That's cool. That's an experience you don't normally get. And I would definitely, if it were me, and I didn't talk to these guys all the time, I would be really interested in talking to those PAC members I never see or hear from or talk to that are they're not my PAC member. And and gain some insights from
definitely
what they're doing.
One of the things that I've really realized over the course of the last several weeks, and I knew this before, but it's really been hammered home to me, which is that repetition is the mother of learning. That when you hear something repeated often enough, you start to learn it. And then there becomes that one point where you don't just hear it, it just lands. It sinks in with you. Yeah. And then it becomes part of you and you adopt that as truth.
Yep.
And so that's what learning from several different people who are all saying a similar thing in a different way, but that's what can happen is that truth can land, and all of a sudden you can apply it in a new, powerful way.
Yep. I totally agree.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're getting signed up for the Leaders Retreat. Now, we're almost sold out of rooms. And the good news is that our room block, they haven't lifted our pricing yet.
Ooh,
So
weren't they supposed to do that already?
They
What's
were.
the date?
They were on the 20th.
That's what I thought.
And so if
News
you
to
get
me.
in there, you can still get rooms at our discounted price. However,
doggy.
as soon as they're gone, they're gone. There is no more guarantee of how long the rooms will be available, how many rooms will be available, any of that.
Gone. So, because I know that we always get the call every year, like, hey, I missed the early pricing, I missed the room block, I missed this, whatever. And there's not much that we can do about it because we're dealing with a hotel. So it's not in our control.
It's not something that we control exactly.
Yeah.
The other part with that, as you get registered for the Leaders Retreat, make sure that you get registered for the excursion on Monday. So we have our trainings, we have our time with the pack and with Bob on Saturday, and then on Monday we do that large group excursion. When we were in Panama, we actually took a tour of half of the Panama Canal. So we started in the middle, and then we went all the way out to the ocean, out the west side, and we're able to go down the locks and everything. And it was incredible. But this time, it's actually a snorkeling tour. So Bob has got the entire boat reserved. The boat can hold like 250 people or something like that.
Yeah.
Big boat.
Yeah.
And it's exclusive to the Renatus group. So get registered for that, because not only will you have another opportunity to interact with a lot of people from Renatus, but you're going to be at an incredible exclusive snorkeling spot.
That sounds so cool.
It's going to be awesome.
Jay, snorkeling is one of my all-time favorites.
Isn't it cool?
So, yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. All right. Well, let's move on. I don't want to take too much more time on the Leaders Retreat. Be there. I can't say anything more than that.
Yep.
But the summer's filling up. It's getting kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it always goes by so fast because it fills up so much. We just we're always just focused on the next event because there's always something pressing that's right in front of us that we gotta do, and so it goes by quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts, with my kids. The beginning of this year, as restrictions started to loosen, I saw sports go crazy, and they tried to take entire seasons and condense them down to like 6 weeks, and it's man, it was brutal. Well, now things are like starting to loosen up. Now my kids are like, well, let's do 3 sports, not just one, and it's like, ugh.
I feel like I'm trying to make up for lost time, like. I feel like I kind of missed out on last. Yes. I want to do all the things. I mean, we can't sit still.
Yeah.
And it's both me and my wife because last summer all we did was hunker down. Just everything was shut down. Pretty much every business was operating at a limited capacity or closed.
Yep.
And so. I've also noticed that everybody else wants to do those things because
you're not alone.
We've done so many things. Oh my gosh, the season for the first 2 months that Lagoon was open, every Saturday I was driving down this way, right, and I would
pack.
I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. The line to get into Lagoon, the car line, would go all the way out Lagoon Drive. All the way, I don't know if you know, nobody else is probably going to know. Long story short, the line would be about a mile and a half long, clear into the freeway.
So
it was a mile into the freeway. It was our here. If you were to get on the freeway, you would on that right hand lane. It would have just been stopped.
So Lagoon is our theme park, the local theme park here in Farmington, Utah.
Yeah,
and it's a pretty good sized park, but we don't have any other theme parks really like it. In the area,
and it's like 2 miles that way, but you get on the freeway, you would run right into that line, and
crazy.
Nuts. So
crazy. All right, well let's talk about now. We have the huge announcement coming on Monday, but
on the Founders Live webinar.
Oh my gosh,
coming
Matthew, how do I mute his mic? Let me just. I'm kidding.
I think if I pull his, I'm just kidding.
Right. I'm just gonna start yanking wires until something happens here. No, I wanted to go over an update that came out on Sunday that I'm not sure that we did a really good job of promoting. Okay.
Let's talk about it.
So here's what I want to do. If I can, I'd like to show my screen here so that you guys can see what we're looking at, and I can walk you through a little bit of this this new feature that came out. So what I'm doing right now is I'm sitting in an account, and this is for my test account, Stand Still. Okay, don't steal that. That's my tester name. But this is a test account, and what I want to do is I want to walk you through this. On the top right side here, we have a notification bell.
Yep.
Right? This is pretty common. A lot of people have seen this in
like
different
Facebook.
websites. Right? So when you click on it, it'll tell you what kind of different notifications you have. So here's calendar event notifications that I have, and then I've got some notifications for campaign updates. I've got some corporate notifications that I can look at, which is always good to check out. But what I wanted to show you is right here in the lower right-hand corner. You've got these three little gears.
They're gears, yeah.
Yep. If you click on these gears, what it does is it pulls up your notification settings.
Sweet. So I can control what I'm notified by.
You can be controlled how you're notified. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What thing I'm notified by.
Yes.
Yeah, I got you.
There are some that are standard. Like every single one of these, Helios is just defaulted on. You will always get notified through Helios when an order is placed. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But if you want to be notified by email, then you leave this on. Or the app off, on, right? They're defaulted to everything is on. However, you can turn all of these off if you wish. Okay?
Poor Stan. He's not going to know what's going on.
He's not going to have a clue about what's going on. Now, here's the new feature set. All of this is existing, right? This has been around since Helios was first made live in all its glory.
Right.
Back in 2019?
Yes.
2019, yeah.
Yep.
These top two are the newest features that we've released. Okay, the second one here is funnels. If you don't want your leads to get a notification from any of the funnels that corporate produces, then you turn them off. Boom, boom. Now your leads will not get notified about the funnels. Now, I should make sure that there's one caveat here that people need to be aware of.
Yeah.
A lead is not necessarily protected, right? They're just a lead. So if I have a lead, you can actually have the same lead in your Helios account.
Until that person's protected.
Until one of us gets that person protected.
Yes.
And then they're no longer available to you. However, if I lose protection, if the protection expires, pop, the lead's back for both of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So the reason why this is important to note is because if I decide I want to opt my leads in to the funnel notifications, so I would come in here and turn these on, and you say you want to opt your leads out, if you and I are sharing a lead that's not protected, they're still going to get notified. 1 time from me, 0 times from you.
Yes.
That's just an important caveat that people need to know.
I see, because your lead could still be, hey, I'm getting these emails, and you're like, I don't know what's going on. I shut them off.
That could be why. Just to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay, the top function right here, this is the one that a lot of people have been requesting, is this will no longer send any notifications to your lead from Helios.
Correct. So what you're saying, though, is that Smart could be still sending them
Yes.
Notifications.
So the reason why, if you look at this text right here, and here, let me blow this up nice and big for everybody. The reason why we put on here, it says this, it says lead notifications so that a lead in a third-party API does not receive multiple notifications except for paid events. Okay? The reason why we put that in there is because with events, if you register your guest for an event in Helios, if you are not the event host, then the only way for you to get access to log into that, if it's an online event, is going to be through the email or through the event on the calendar. Does that make sense?
Yes, because they don't get the email. They would otherwise click the link in there and then go. Yeah. So
Right.
they now have to log into their own Helios, go find it on the calendar.
Correct.
Jump in that way.
So that's why we need everybody to be really, really clear that if you are using a third-party system like the Smart system, then as long as those notifications are being sent to your leads from Smart, no problem. However, if you're not and you disable this, you turn it off so that your leads are no longer getting those notifications like this, now you're responsible to make sure your leads have the information they need.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now there's one, it says except for paid events. So no system can process charges for Renatus except for Helios.
Correct.
And so if there's a paid event that you invite your guests for and they pay or you pay for them or whatever, then they're still going to get a notification from us on how to access that event because no other system can handle that.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, in red right here, it says this includes unpaid corporate events such as the corporate intensives, etc. So the corporate intensives have never been a charged for event, which means that if you disable this and then you invite your leads to the corporate intensive, again, you are responsible to make sure that your leads know how to get access to it.
Yeah. Again, they need to log in, go to the calendar, go find the corporate event.
Yes.
Click on it, open it up, and then jump in that way.
Yes. Now, the corporate intensives are not quite the same thing because you can just go into the live broadcast feature and you'll see it there as long as you're registered.
Right.
But yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody kind of gets the direction we are heading on this, the reason why we took this direction. We're trying to make sure that leads aren't getting overwhelmed from emails from Smart, emails from Helios saying the same thing but different enough that it's confusing. Mm-hmm. We're trying to simplify the message.
Yeah, let alone twice. You're
right.
just getting that message twice.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So
I like
that is kind of new and exciting.
That is new and exciting.
So
I like being able to more control. I like that.
Yes.
That makes me feel good.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I want to talk about one more thing just real quick before we're done with the call today.
Okay.
Scott Rowe really brought up an interesting idea on Monday when we were talking with him. Do you remember this? He was talking about using the onboarding call as another event for guests.
Yes.
Do you remember when he was talking about that?
I remember him bringing it up. Yeah.
So,
I don't remember exactly what he said about it, but I do remember him jumping out and talking about.
Yeah. When you've got a guest that's really serious about getting involved with Renatus, but maybe hasn't pulled the trigger yet.
Yeah.
Sending that guest to the onboarding event will give them an opportunity to understand how they can log into their Helios account because as a guest, they have access.
Yep.
Exactly. And then being able to see some of the tools that are already available to them and tools that would become available to them as they are an ICM or as they are a customer.
Yeah.
And so we have every single Thursday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time an onboarding call that's hosted by the corporate team. So typically it's me and Audrey Hansen, who's one of our customer advocates. We get out there and we do a little training. We walk through the education, and then we walk through the ICM opportunity. But we wanted to make sure that you guys understand that you're welcome to invite guests to that event, and we'll take care of them. We'll smile at them. We'll make some jokes. We'll walk them through Helios and give them a real in-depth view of what is available to them now and what becomes available to them as they sign up.
That's awesome. I like that. Yeah, I think that'd be great. So do it.
Right on.
Do it.
Okay. Matthew, is there anything else we need to talk about?
Oh, I was just looking at that picture on the Helios homepage of Cabo, the pool. I just have such a love for those trips. They're so fun, and anyways, I'm just looking forward to it.
If you guys want to get really excited, look up the Pueblo Bonito in Cabo San Lucas.
Yeah.
And you'll see those pictures, and you'll be like,
it's beautiful.
Oh,
it's beautiful. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Matthew, thank you once again for always being my fearless co-host.
You bet.
Want to give a shout out to Mr. Aaron Peterson, Mr. Randy Morose. I got it. And James, I don't remember what your last name is. He said it. I can't hear him. Say it again. James Richens, our new content development team on board with us. Thank you so much, everyone. I want to remind everybody the reason why Renatus rocks is because of the people who are associated with it. So thank you for being here with us once again. Renatus rocks.